Do people remember Pop Team Epic? Around the time of its release, I remember this show being everywhere online. It was referenced in memes, fan art, YouTube videos, and even full-blown fan animations. But now the show seems to have mostly faded from the public's consciousness. It doesn't help that the last season was released in 2022. I must confess though, I never got around to watching Pop Team Epic until late 2024, and by the time I got around to watching, it felt like it had already been forgotten by most people. This assessment is based mostly on vibes. I don't have any definitive proof that this statement is true unless you count pulling up a Google Trends statistic. It's inevitable that an anime's popularity will gradually fade over time, but it doesn't feel like it's left the mark that a show that was as popular as this one should have left, which is a damn shame because Pop Team Epic feels unlike almost any other comedy anime that has come out since. Let's go back a bit. Back in August of 2014, Pop Team Epic began as a 4-panel web manga series published on the website Manga Life Win. The surreal, sometimes insane humor made this a pretty popular series. It was popular enough that 4 years after it started, the manga would get its own anime adaptation. Produced by King Records and mostly animated by Kamikaze Doga, who you might recognize from the first episode of Star Wars Visions and also those really cool 3D JoJo openings. Now going into an anime adaptation like this, it begs the question, how do you adapt a 4-panel manga into full-length anime episodes? You could take the Azumanga Daioh approach and just drop that format entirely to do a more standard structured anime. Pop Team Epic does the opposite though, and instead embraces the 4-panel format by pacing the show in a similar way. The result is an anime that somehow feels even more unhinged than the already bizarre manga. Pop Team Epic follows the characters Pupiko and Pipame as they do literally anything. There is no rhyme or reason for what goes on here. In one story, Pupiko becomes an idol girl and Pipame, her manager, proceeds to make millions of Pupiko clones that she uses to overwhelm any resistance humanity can put up and recreate the world in her image. But then you can also have stuff like this. At one point, the voice actors stop the episode and start screaming at the producer because of how bad the script was and force him to rewrite it before this happens. This variety is one of the show's biggest strengths. There is no limit to what can happen here. The show is free to be as ridiculous as it wants to be. Pop Team Epic feels more like something you'd find on Newgrounds rather than a comedy anime, and if you're like me, the Newgrounds style of comedic animation is exactly what I love to see from this kind of stuff. It's a barrage of visual gags and dumb surreal humor that is only complemented by the studio's clear understanding of what made the manga work in the first place. It really just feels like the people making this were having a blast doing so. They've incorporated all of these different art styles in other mediums. Like, look at the video game styled segments. There are so many of them and they all look so nice. Pop Team Epic isn't without flaws though. After all, there is a recurring segment that is hosted and animated by a French person. Ugh. I could go on for a while about all of my favorite bits here, but I'll spare you from that. A little tip for you guys, if you get to the Bob Team Epic segments, you can actually skip ahead a few seconds and then you just won't have to watch him. I enjoyed my time with the show. It's a nice, surreal comedy anime, but man, I just feel like nobody gives a shit about it anymore. When season 2 came out, I had no clue it was even airing. Maybe season 1 just came out at the perfect moment in time for this show to succeed. I don't know how another season would fare in the current year. The existing fan base would obviously still eat it up, but would it be able to draw in a new audience of fans? I don't really know, and I have no clue if there are even plans to make a new season. There is nothing I've seen that would suggest that being a possibility. I saw Pop Team Epic is streaming on Tubi. It feels like a cruel fate to see a show you love end up on Tubi of all places. The same streaming service that hosts Sunday videos.
We've brought Baldi's Basics into Among Us. But now,
what the fuck am I doing?
Has Pop Team Epic been forgotten? No, definitely not, but it's undoubtedly nowhere near as hyped up as it was for that brief period in time. That doesn't mean it's not worth watching now in the current year though. And the manga is still ongoing, so another season is not completely out of the question. I hope that Pop Team Epic will be remembered as time goes on. It was experimental, weird, and just a lot of fun, which is all that I could ask for from an anime like this. My name has been Goob. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.